I want to talk about Love Me, Love My Voice. This is the newest C-drama that I've been watching, or I'm wanting to get my first impressions on. I have been trying to find something that's a little bit more soothing and, comfort for the soul. And I have a lot of thoughts about this show and if it will fall into that criteria or if there's a really great romance that I will be able to discover through this show. Hi, I'm Monique. I am the host of Off by Purple Heart podcast, where I talk to you about K-dramas, C-dramas, BTS, and so much more. And happy Festa to all of ARMY. Because I had some early appointments, I couldn't watch all of Festa last night. It's June 8th as I'm recording this, and they had the Bang Bang Con, which is something that I really love to do, to watch and stay up and have my own mini BTS concert, but I only was able to watch the Red Bullet part of said Bang Bang Con. But anyways, I want to just give out a shout out to ARMYs. As far as Love Me, Love My Voice, this show is starring Zhou, and I recently reviewed one of her dramas, Everyone Loves Me. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of dropped that one, but I watched a few episodes of it, and I think she's actually a really charming actress. And because I recognized her and I've heard a lot of good things about this particular drama, I decided to give it a go. Especially because I would like to find another Amidst the Snowstorm of Love. I know part of it was because of the great chemistry of Mei and Wule, my boo, Leo Wu. And I've been hoping to find something that would replace it, and I kind of haven't found that yet. But I have started Love Me, Love My Voice. I watched the full extent of episode 1, and it is definitely a very calming, soothing show. So right off the bat, I do feel that it's a comfort show. It is going to be definitely slow burn. The two main characters that we have, I believe Xiao Ji, she plays the character named Shang Shang, or at least that's her online moniker. And the main lead is Mr. Mo or Dr. Mo. I was kind of confused on that, but I'll get into that a little bit more in the podcast. But our two main leads, they haven't officially met one another yet. The setup is that Xiao Yi's main character, she is in kind of like a chat group. I think it sounds similar to like a clubhouse, for example. Like there's multiple chat rooms within, and you are able to chat and like leave voice memos and what have you. And she come across as the main lead's voice in this chat, and he's giving her this really detailed recipe of a really delicious sounding meal. And let me just say as a sidebar that this show is heavily food based. I went into it expecting a really sweet romance going by the description, and definitely by the title sequence before the show launches. It looks very sweet. It's aesthetically very pretty, but it's a massive foodie show. And the main lead character, while she is very, very slender, she definitely can eat, and there's so many delicious dishes that this show showcased in the very first episode. So watching this late at night, if you're super hungry, is probably not the best idea. And I haven't had breakfast, and I was watching this first thing in the morning in between my appointments, and I was getting super hungry because the food descriptions are phenomenal and the food looks so delectable in this show. But anyhow, she falls head over heels in love with the voice of this guy, and I think he's a pretty famous voice actor, and he does that, I think, as like a side hobby, side gig, along with his two friends, I believe. And she has no idea what he looks like. She herself is a vocalist, she's a singer, and she has a very pretty voice. And in the first episode, we're already introduced some of her past work, and even her cousin actually sometimes plays her music in his little corner store as well. And the first episode is mainly about the fact that the two lead characters are like two ships in a night. So she has fallen in love with his voice through this group chat that they're in together. He has a background in voice work and seems to be pretty popular and has his own little mini celebrity, but he's very much a hidden identity, so no one knows what his face looks like. And it seems like his day job is that he is a doctor. And for whatever reason, he also is a foodie and was giving her this recipe, and it sounds delectable, but his voice is like smooth as the most richly brewed coffee. She's absolutely completely enamored with him, but they don't know it's neither one of them knows who the other is. And through the glimpses of the show, you kind of get the sense that he likes her a lot too. His face, whenever we see the male lead character, or Mr. Mo, he lights up when her avatar and her voice pops up in the group chat that they're in. And it just so happens that she went out for brunch with her girlfriends, and she was talking about this guy and just how incredible his voice is, how she's completely in love with his voice. And it just so happens that the spot that they went to eat, he's also there with his friends, and I think he found out about the place because she had mentioned it in this chat. But neither one realizes it's the other, and you actually see them pass one another while they're at this restaurant spot, and you and the audience are like, oh my god, they're so close together, they can literally brush each other's shoulders, but they still have no idea who the other is. And it comes down to like the final half of the episode, and we finally get an encounter, and you can see that they both have an interest. They don't realize who the person is yet, but they both kind of look at each other, and you see that instant attraction and that little chemistry bubbling up. And then the episode kind of leaves it off that once again they're back in this group chat, and he actually calls out her name and her actual name, and she's like fully flabbergasted and shocked. And that's kind of where they leave it for the first episode. So it's very slow paced. It is very aesthetic heavy. Like, it has a beautiful color palette to show. I also really liked how they style Zhou Yi in this show. Like, her style is very cutesy. It almost is like kind of vintage kind of wear. Like she wears like a lot of pretty pastel floral type outfits, and then she has like these really gorgeous like coats, and I just love the color palette of the show. The show also does a couple of dream sequences where she's kind of imagining herself in this like immersive world when she listens to the male lead's voice. And there's even one particular scene, and it's like almost like this nighttime celestial like visual, and it was really gorgeous how they filmed it. And he was like telling her another recipe for a really great dish, and just the way that the shot was directed and the way that it was color graded, just everything about it was really visually pretty. So this show, as a first impressions, is just gorgeous to look at. For like a modern day drama, it just has a really pretty backdrop. I really like Zhou Yi's character as well. Shang, she seems really cutesy. I love that she's a foodie. A lot of the food that she gets to eat just was so good. Like, I was getting so hungry. It is not good to watch the show on an empty stomach, let me tell you. Like, the food descriptions and the way the food looks, everything just looks banging. It just looks so good. The male lead, he has a really charming face too. He has really pretty eyes. And when they first actually look at each other towards the end of the episode, I was like, oh my god, they're so sweet together. They look visually really good together, even though the show hasn't made them aware of one another truly yet, even though we kind of end on a semi cliffhanger. But it is a super slow paced show. I can't imagine that people who didn't enjoy Amidst the Snowstorm of Love would want to jump into a show like this. But I think if you like Amidst the Snowstorm of Love but want a show that visually is a lot more aesthetically pleasing. Like, I know a lot of Amidst the Snowstorm, because a lot of it was filmed obviously in the winter time in Finland. A lot of the scenes were kind of dark and had like a gray cast or a gray tone, but that wasn't something that really jumped out to me. I just enjoyed Wu-lei and Mei-Mei's chemistry, right? I just adored the show. But this show, it's very, very pretty. I have to see how the romance develops, because I see that there's at least 33 episodes in total for the show. And while the first episode intrigued me, and it does seem to be where I want to be right now, like I want to watch something that's soothing and is aesthetically really nice, just a really easygoing type show, very low stakes. I think it will provide that, but I don't know if they're going to be able to drag out this tension and keep me fully engaged for all 33 episodes. So I'm kind of like on standby with the show, but I definitely liked the first episode. And again, I love all the food descriptions. The food stuff alone, I really, really enjoy. So I'm going to keep an eye out for this one. And I'll get back to you. Most likely, if you see me update my podcast with more, then you'll know that I'm going to commit fully. But sometimes, I get a first impression that's mostly positive and favorable, but I end up dropping the show in like 3 or 4 episodes. But so far, it looks really cute. And the title sequence for the beginning of the show, some of the scenes looked really, really romantic and really pretty. And that's piqued my interest as well. So I kind of want to stick to it, I kind of hope that it will give me similar vibes to Amidst the Snowstorm of Love, but we'll see. But so far, so good. I like it. It's very pretty, and it is a 2023 Chinese drama, so it's still relatively new. And I just want something else to fully dive into. In addition, I am continuing to watch The Long Ballad, so I will post another episode shortly about The Long Ballad as well. That stars my main man, Wu-lei. Pretty much a vast majority of my C-drama podcasts of late have been about a project that Wu-lei has been in. Sorry, I have my biases, okay? Sorry. So stay tuned for that. And K-drama land, nothing is really catching my eye right now, but that might change. I'm very much a mood watcher, so I just have to be in a certain mood for things. And even shows that are like super hyped, if I just don't feel it at that point, I'm just not going to watch it. That's just how I feel. So thank you for tuning in for today's podcast. If you're watching via YouTube, feel free to comment down below. Have you watched Love Me, Love My Voice? What did you think of it? Do you think my assessment of the first episode is pretty accurate to the general tone and theme of the show? Please leave me your thoughts and feedback in the comment section below. And if you're listening via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I really love and appreciate you. I hope you're enjoying my journey into more modern day C-dramas, which is what I seem to really like. I am definitely, as I go through 2024, I am favoring C-dramas a lot more than K-dramas. And I love both. I love pretty much any drama that can bring the chemistry and bring the romance and then some. But I'm definitely favoring C-dramas a lot more. So don't be surprised if more C-drama reviews and first impressions keep popping up. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching or listening morning, noon, night, I hope you're having a great time until the next one. Bye.